Who has the saddest backstory in the Black Bulls? Today we'll be ranking all 15 backstories of the Black Bulls, from just character development to yikes, this guy really needs to go to therapy. But honestly, all of us as Black Clover fans are going through it. First the anime ended, then the manga series slowed down. Sure, we got a movie, but that basically is the last thing we got. So first on the ranking is us fans. We have suffered, but I guess Tabata needs some time for his help, then all we can do is wait patiently. In that meantime, hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Just look at this graph, let's change that. In order for us to rank these backstories, we first need to set up some requirements for them to be good. 1. They need to be fleshed out or detailed enough, and 2. The character would have needed to grow. With that out of the way, let's start with the least sad backstory. Our D tier includes those who we really haven't seen a backstory for, or their backstory wasn't fleshed out, or they just don't have a sad backstory. Yami Pappetson doesn't seem to have a lot in her backstory, and all we know is that she's caught in a trap and Yami recruits her to join the Black Bulls. We currently don't know a lot about Magnus' backstory, just that he was a peasant that joined the Black Bulls when he was 15. We do know that he's always trying to keep up with everyone in the group. Gordon Agrippa is born into a commoner family that is infamous for curse magic. This leads to him growing up lonely and friendless. Soon after receiving his grimoire, he joins the Black Bulls. Henry Legoland was a strange guy found at the Black Bulls headquarters. Henry has a weird illness that makes him siphon magic automatically from people close to him. Close to death, Yami finds him and offers him a spot in the Black Bulls. He goes at the top of the D tier. Not a lot is known about Yami Sukehiro, but what we do know is he comes from a far off land called Yuno country. Soon after reaching the Clover Kingdom, Julius convinces him to join the Grey Deer, and later Yami forms his own team, the Black Bulls. There must be a reason for him to have left his country, but we do not know that yet, hence he is placed at the bottom of C tier. The big man Asta was born in a peasant village called Haj. He was also born with no magic. Now that's a double whammy. But that's not all of his backstory. His mother, Richita, has a weird illness that drained the life force out of beings. She was worried that she may do this to Asta, so she left him by a church in Haj. She later passes on after saving Lieb, Asta's devil, from Lucifero. Thing is, Asta doesn't know about his mother yet, so this doesn't really affect him so much. The only thing that makes him grow is his goal to become Wizard King. That's more of a future plan than a backstory, hence C tier. Finral Rollercase is born to the House Ford. After his mother passes on, his father remarries and has another kid, Langris. Finesse is introduced to the two brothers as the lady who is betrothed to the head of Ford House. Finral acknowledges that his brother is stronger and that she would go for him, but she likes his kindness more than anything else. Few years pass and he joins the Black Bulls, while his brother joins the Golden Dawn and becomes vice captain. This leads to Finral no longer being the head of House Ford. With this weight lifted off him, he separates from his family, taking his mother's last name instead. Finral always knew that he was not as powerful as his brother and accepted a lot regarding his fate. He did let go of his toxic family and moved on, and I would say his backstory wasn't that sad anyway. Top of C tier for him. Vanessa is a witch from the Witch Forest. She catches the eye of the Witch Queen with her thread magic. She is locked up in a cage to improve her magic, hopefully allowing her to change fate. One day, Yami breaks into a prison accidentally and tells her that she can do whatever she wants and ignores fate. This makes her join the Black Bulls. She was held captive and told to use her powers only for the Witch Queen. We see more of the effect of her backstory than those in C and D, therefore she is B tier. Grey is basically anime Cinderella. Born a commoner, her father remarries and she has two mean stepsisters. They make her do chores and make fun of her in general. After receiving a grimoire, Grey impersonates them, but they take it in the wrong way. She is chased out the house and is confronted by three men trying to rob her. Gauche steps in and knocks them out, saying it was his sister's wish to save her. Grey was hurt emotionally by her family, leading to her running away, nearly getting robbed and being saved. She has an identity crisis and doesn't open up to people easily until she overcomes that. B tier seems perfect for her. For A and above, everyone has lost someone close to them and has had a strong impact on their growth. Luck Voltaire is raised as a commoner in Yvonne. He lives with his single mother, but they don't have the best of relationships because she isn't too fond of him, always smiling. In a tournament at school, he defeats a noble student. This makes his mother more fond of him, embracing him and telling him he'll always win. She later passes on from stress and leaves Luck on his own. Yami recruits him when all other Magic Knight captains refuse him after nearly killing his opponent. Lost his mother, carried on smiling, carried on fighting. A tier. Zora Idile used to live with his father Zara, but he was mysteriously killed in battle. Later, while visiting his grave, Zora overhears his father's squad mate saying they killed Zara. Years later, Zora gets his revenge on these men. He stopped seeking revenge and joined Yami eventually, but he did grow from his part and sought justice in his own hands. A tier. Gauche Adlai was born into a wealthy family, but his parents die in an accident, leading to their wealth being inherited by another noble. This noble kicks Gauche and his little sister Mary out to fend for themselves. Later, Gauche saves Grey from 3 men attacking her. More time passes and Gauche attacks a noble's house, leading to him going to prison and his sister to an orphanage. He breaks out but is eventually defeated by Yami, who offers him a spot in the Black Bulls. Aside from his sister complex, Gauche has actually grown a lot. He came from everything to nothing, then found his everything with the Black Bulls. A tier for him. Sekre Swallowtail, yeah, that bird that keeps chilling on Asta's head, well, she's about 500 years old. Now you may be asking, how is that possible? Well, she was born to a noble family, but her magic is sealing magic, a seemingly useless magic to them. She was assigned to be the royal servant of the future first wizard king of the Clover Kingdom, Lemuel Silvermillion Clover. His sister Tetia is marrying an elf Licht, but on their wedding day, disaster strikes. The magic siphon they were working on was stolen by Zagrid, and he wipes the elves and Tetia. This also leads to Licht's grimoire turning into a 5-clover grimoire. In order to stop Zagrid from taking over his body, he turns himself into a giant demon. Lemuel weakens the demon enough and Sekre seals Zagrid away. She also seals the fatally injured Lemuel atop the demon skull in Hatch Village. Use of so much forbidden magic led to her turning into an anti-bird for 500 years, turning human only when she unseals the first wizard king. Staying loyal to your king and working 500 years to gather all the stones to bring him back just to lose him later on. Now that creates character development right there. A tier for her. Noelle Silver was born into a royal family, House Silver. She is ridiculed and mocked by her siblings when she can't control her magic. They also blame her for her mother's death. Oh yeah, that seems like an important point. After Noelle was born, Vanica Zogratis finds Acia to fight. Acia nearly kills Vanica, but her devil Magicula places a lethal curse on Acia. This leaves her weak and bedridden, leading to her death. She may not have known her mother when she passed, but everyone around her made it known to her that she was the one that killed her mother, even though that was far from the truth. Being unable to control your magic in a noble family and having the burden of your mother's death on you, top of A tier seems appropriate. And finally in S tier, Noct Vows. Now before I continue, this will contain some manga spoilers, so skip ahead to the next chapter if you do not want to be spoiled. Noct Vows was born a nobleman in House Faust. He had a twin brother named Morgan. At the start, Yami and Noct committed petty crimes, but when Morgan and Yami got their grimoires and joined the Grey Deer, Morgan tried to convert Noct to join, but he refused. Later, his family reveals to Noct that they study devils. Here he learns to control 4 devils and attempts to control one of the highest ranking ones. This proves to be a bad idea as the devil overpowers him and kills most of his family. Morgan steps in to stop the devil and succeeds, but loses his life in the end. Morgan tells Noct that his dream was to protect the Clover Kingdom together as Magic Knights. At Morgan's grave, Yami tells Noct that if he joins the Black Bulls, he will be made vice captain. Noct loses his twin brother and his family. This was so devastating to him that he started dressing like his brother. He found his new family with Yami and he wants to make a world better by following his brother's final wish. Very deserving of S tier. And that's my ranking of the saddest backstories in the Black Bulls. Do you agree with this list? Leave a comment on which member you would change, or leave a comment of your S tier pick. Remember, this is all based on my opinions and not on facts. So like and subscribe to support the channel. See you soon, take care and stay safe.